What's up, everybody? My name is Attorney Justin Camper, and I'm here to talk to you about what does it mean to have criminal charges filed against you. So let's talk about it. So you may have been charged with a crime. That may have been reckless driving, driving while under the influence. That may have been a domestic battery or regular battery, or you may have been charged with a crime. And I want to first tell you that just because you are charged with a crime, that does not mean you are guilty, okay? And so I want to give you the number one thing to make sure that you keep in mind if you have been charged with a crime. Number one, okay? Just because you've been charged with a crime doesn't mean you're guilty. So make sure you do not plead guilty to a crime without speaking with an attorney first, okay? You want to make sure that you know all of the legal options available to you before you plead anything besides not guilty to a criminal charge. Even if you feel that you did do the crime, you want to make sure you talk to a lawyer first because you want to be put in the best situation possible. I've heard a story where there was a guy who was a first-time offender, and I believe it was a small crime, like driving under the influence or something that wasn't a felony or anything huge. The judge asked him, did he want an attorney? He said, no, I don't want an attorney. I just want to plead guilty. I just want to get this over with. The judge asked him several times, said, are you sure you don't want an attorney? He said, I'm sure I don't want an attorney. The judge asked him, did he want a public defender? And he said, no. And he said, you just sure you understand that if you plead guilty that you face the penalty of up to a year in jail? And he said, yes, I understand that. He pled guilty, and guess what? The judge actually sentenced him to a year in jail, okay? Now, if he would have hired an attorney and he would have known his legal options available to him, he probably would have been able to avoid jail time. But because he was impatient, didn't want to talk to an attorney, felt like he knew all his legal rights, he was actually sentenced to a year in jail, okay? So don't let that be you, okay? If you have criminal charge number two, the second thing you need to make sure you keep in mind is that you take the charges serious, okay? And what I mean by that is understand that criminal charges are jailable offenses, okay? Now, we're not talking about infractions like speeding and things of that nature, but we are talking about criminal charges where it's misdemeanor or it's a felony. So you want to make sure that you are clear about what you've been charged with. And if you've been charged with a misdemeanor or felony, you need to take those charges extremely, extremely serious, okay? You want to make sure that you talk with an attorney right away because you want to make sure that you don't have to face any jail time for the charges that you have been charged with. Now, another thing, number three, that you need to respond to the court as soon as possible. So there's two ways that you probably found out that you have criminal charges. Number one, you got a letter in the mail, or number two, there's a warrant out, right? And you somehow got notified that there was a warrant out for your arrest. I would advise you to do that. You need to respond to the court. However, I wouldn't advise you to do that without legal counsel, okay? And if you hire legal counsel, that legal counsel can actually respond to the court on your behalf. And responding to the court can mean a lot of things. That could mean turn yourself into jail. It could mean showing up to your court hearing. It could mean writing a letter to the judge, okay? But you need to respond. Ignoring it is not the solution. So if you are someone located in Northwest Indiana and you've been faced with criminal charges, I want you to remember three things. Number one, just because you've been faced with a criminal charge doesn't mean that you are guilty. Number two, make sure you take the charges serious because they are jailable offenses. And number three, make sure you respond to the court. And of course, to wrap all that up, you need to find a lawyer as soon as possible, okay? So you're located in Northwest Indiana. I actually offer free 15-minute consultations for people who have been criminally charged with a crime. And I want you to contact my office I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your side of the story, and I'm not going to have any judgment. So please give me a call. I would love to talk to you. But otherwise, make sure that you are staying strong, staying firm, and remember to stay legal. Thanks.